Thank you, Mayank, and thank you to the PhD Chamber of Commerce for all of their support for not only this event, but the previous two events we hosted in New Delhi and Mumbai, and the one we're going to be hosting on Friday in Bangalore. My name is, as Mayank noted, Kenzie Penton. I'm the Director of Events and Business Development with Invest in the USA, or IIUSA for short. We are the nonprofit membership association for professionals who are engaged in the EB-5 regional center industry. So we represent around 350 member organizations, both in the United States and around the world. Tonight you're going to hear from 10 of our member organizations who are going to be sharing their expertise on two panels, the first of which will focus on the high-level outlook and the high-level perspectives of what EB-5 is and how it works and why it might be right for you. The second panel is going to focus on what, as an Indian investor, do you need to specifically consider as you look about pursuing an EB-5 visa. You'll also hear from each of our sponsors, who will have a short sponsor presentation to introduce you to their projects or their services. After our presentations and after the panels, we'll have a cocktail reception and dinner as well for all guests. So hopefully everyone stays the whole time and stays engaged. I know people are still coming into the room, so we'll have a full room in short order. Before we get started, again, just a thank you to the PhD Chamber. Our partnership really started during COVID, when we were precluded from being in person and hosting events like this. I think we hosted 3 or 4 webinar events together, very well attended, great events. Of course, it's much nicer to be in person and directly meeting with everyone face to face, but over the last 2 years this partnership has really grown, and we're excited for these 4 events that we're hosting together now, of course, but really the long-term outlook for our collaborations. This is not by any means the first events that IIUSA has hosted in India. We've been hosting events here since around 2015, but we look forward to a much more regular participation in Hyderabad and elsewhere in the country in the coming years. So thank you, PhD, for all that help. As I noted, we're a membership association. Everything we do is supported by our members. Everything we do is on behalf of our members. So we have 14 total member organizations who sponsored our event series. So you'll see their logos here, of course, but there's information on all of these sponsors on your tables, in the tables near the back, on signage. So I encourage you to meet with all of our sponsors during the cocktail reception and learn a little bit more about what they do, but special thank you to our sponsors for all their support of IIUSA. With that being said, I'm going to show a short video here about EB-5, essentially what it is, how it works, and who IIUSA is, which I think will set the stage nicely for our first panel discussion. So enjoy. Nope.
What are the benefits? Let's break it down. EB-5 is an immigrant investor visa program that allows capital to flow from private investors across the globe into the U.S. economy. In exchange, these qualified individuals can apply for permanent residence in the USA. Where does the money go? It goes directly into the economy. Hotels, real estate, schools, hospitals, infrastructure, grocery stores, and a lot more. The investments must be made into a new commercial enterprise and be at risk by law. The total funding is at least $1,050,000, or $800,000 if the investment is in a targeted employment area, or TEA for short. These TEAs are either rural or suffer from high unemployment and are in special need of economic assistance. Funding a project can be made in 2 ways: direct investment or through an EB-5 regional center. The latter is usually more attractive because the 10-job requirement can be fulfilled through direct, indirect, or induced jobs, or a combination of the 3. There's a bigger window for capital and no limitations on the number of EB-5 applicants who can invest in one project, so long as the business plan has been approved by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS in short. Let's talk numbers. According to IIUSA's latest economic impact report, between federal fiscal year 2014 and 2015, EB-5 contributed nearly $11 billion in capital investment, over 355,000 jobs created or supported, over $55 billion in economic growth, over $23 billion in labor income for the U.S. workers. To sum it all up, EB-5 promotes foreign investment to improve U.S. neighborhoods and create American jobs. In return, it provides an opportunity for permanent residency, all at no cost to the U.S. taxpayer. Seems fair, right? Sounds like both sides really benefit from such a program. Now that we know what it is, let's talk about what it isn't. EB-5 is not a purchase of American citizenship, and in no way guarantees a green card, residency, or citizenship. It is not a way to bypass the U.S. government's security and defense. In fact, the EB-5 vetting process is one of the most elaborate of all visa categories. Just so we are all on the same page, it is highly beneficial to all parties involved and also safely managed. There is a lot of information and processes regarding EB-5. You don't need to browse the internet or seek out answers from the government. IIUSA is the hub for all things EB-5. IIUSA, or Invest in the USA, is a non-profit membership-based trade association and EB-5 advocate dedicated to the EB-5 Regional Center program and its many benefits. The mission is to improve the program, educate those who do not know of EB-5, and stimulate economic development throughout the country. IIUSA is the unifying voice for EB-5 regional centers. It is a source for vital information, including statistics, history, maps, and success stories. They also have a magazine, the Regional Center Business Journal, which gives readers in-depth updates, analyses, and perspectives on the industry's most pertinent and pressing topics. The nonprofit works closely with Congress to ensure the program's continuance and hopeful permanence. IIUSA members include EB-5 regional centers, law firms, financial services, foreign intermediaries, and more. You can apply for membership online and become a part of the community. IIUSA also hosts events around the globe that promote networking, education, and business development opportunities for EB-5 stakeholders. For over 30 years, the EB-5 program has helped build America. Since 2005, IIUSA has been pivotal in the program's success. We've only just scratched the surface. To learn more, apply for membership, or see real-life success stories, go to iiusa.org. EB-5.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to that. Before we jump to our panel, the question, of course, becomes, why are we in India? We love it here. We love traveling here and love the people and the food, but there's a reason for the business as well. India is the second largest EB-5 market in the world, behind China. Obviously, the last couple of years have been challenging for a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different people. So the 2020 and the 2021 statistics don't really paint the full picture of EB-5 activity in India. As you can see on these stats, though, between 2008 and 2022, there were 5,433 EB-5 investors from India. That's significant, of course. That equates to 2.1 billion in EB-5 economic development investment that was directly invested by Indian investors. Or 2,842 green cards for Indian investors. So, like I said, 2021 probably doesn't have the most investors we've ever seen from India because we were locked down and at home. But there's a lot of potential in the Indian market, and we're very excited to be back here with our members. We're excited to grow this market substantially in the years to come. So, with that, we're going to start with our panels. But first, a quick disclaimer on everything you're going to hear today, from the panels to the sponsor presentations. None of this information is intended, this information is intended only for educational purposes. Does not constitute legal advice in any way. Please always consult your legal counsel with questions, concerns that you have on the topics that you hear today. With that being said, all the information that you do hear is deemed to be accurate and up to date as of our event date. So with that, I'm going to invite our first four panelists up onto stage here. Our panel 1 is going to be the new world of EB-5. What changed with the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022? So I'm going to invite Kai Boyle from CMB Regional Centers, Brandon Meyer from Meyer Law Group, Daniel Ryan from Atlantic American Partners, and Carl Vandermeer from EB-5 Marketplace to share their expertise. This panel is going to be about 45 minutes long. There will be Q&A at the end of both of our panels. Everyone should have a notepad on your table. If you have questions, write them down. One of our staff members will pick them up and we'll bring them up to the panelists as you have them. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Brandon Meyer, who's going to moderate our discussion.